Hey guys, it's Brendan Borman back for another 270 video. This is a part of the 101 series, and we'll be looking at the town and gown bonus. So we'll be looking at states like District of Columbia, Iowa, Arizona, Utah, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, North Dakota, Vermont, Nebraska, and of course, New York. Now, you may be asking yourself, what exactly is town and gown? And if you see this emblem, you can click on it, and it will give you a description. Think of town and gown, town being non-academic population, gown meaning university. So Durham, Edinburgh, Oxford, Cambridge, all these really universities that have been around a long time. Think of where universities are now and what that looks like. It's more of a Democratic bonus, but there are Republicans that can have town and gown. Why is the town and gown bonus so popular? Well, that's for a variety of reasons. But one important reason is that you can achieve town and gown by the end of turn 3. That's in line with swing states, and other than the Old South, which you can do by the end of the second turn, town and gown is one of those core bonuses. New York, which we'll talk about, is critical to having town and gown. And because New York is so easy to get, you can use town and gown for defense, or you can use it to bridge to another state bonus. So the options include African American, they include high tech, and so we'll talk about that as well. But for those of you who like to play multiplayer matches, if you just have a base out of New York, you can use town and gown to slowly protect yourself and then expand into high tech, into California, or just go after EVs because you can get a lot of those on the ballot. When looking at New York specifically and the town and gown bonus, the important number that you need to know is $202.5 thousand. So in all, there's $404,000 available of cost if you add up all of the town and gown states. So to get the bonus, you have to have $1 more than half. So half would be 202. So if you have 202.5, you will get the bonus. Because New York costs $150,000, that is already 74% of the bonus just for having New York. So really, you want to get New York if you're going to go after the town and gown bonus. There is a crazy way where you can get town and gown without New York. I call that reverse town and gown. But it doesn't always work, especially in a 1v1 and maybe in multiplayer, but you're better off having the one state to defend in New York. So looking at town and gown as a whole, you can see the base bonus on the top of the screen is $75,000. So if your candidate has a 0 penalty or 0 bonus, you will get $75,000 per turn for having town and gown. It's not quite the $100,000 that high tech or African American or swing is, but it's more than Old South, which is $50,000. And so it can be a core bonus when you attach it to another group, especially if you can build upon and hold on to New York. Let's go ahead and look at Donald Trump 2020. And in some of my other videos, I've calculated a bonus, but just to show you, it's the exact same way when you are calculating a penalty. So under the penalties, you'll see that Donald Trump has a 20% town and gown penalty. So what you do is you take the base rate of $75K times 0.80 to represent 80%, and that will give you the $60,000 per turn bonus that Donald Trump 2020 will get having that 20% penalty in town and gown. Another popular route that you might see to get the town and gown bonus is to have New York and then all of the swing states affiliated that are inside of town and gown. So if you have Arizona, Iowa, and New Hampshire, that will get you the bonus. It also will give you $50K toward the swing state bonus, and so you only need $200K for that, and so you're already 25% of the way towards swing. Add in states like Arizona, which is African American, and then if you add in Florida, North Carolina, and Virginia, then that will also net you the African American bonus. It's a very popular combination and very strong inside the game. But the very first bonus that I knew how to ever achieve inside the 270 universe was the New York, Massachusetts, and Utah combination. Whether you want to call it town and tech or high gown or just classic town and gown, this is exactly enough to get you the bonus. And so while it is exactly enough, it's efficient, it is also both high-tech state. All three are high-tech and town and gown states. So if you simply add a New Hampshire and a Pennsylvania and a Michigan, you can get high-tech by the end of turn 4. But because of this, especially in a 1v1, if you open up into New York by itself, you might see a lot of players put a pip into Utah or Massachusetts to defend against it. And if they can predict correctly, they can set you back a turn. So town and gown is a easy bonus to achieve, but you don't want to be too predictable. Taking a look at some of the ag states that are also town and gown inside the group include Iowa, Minnesota, and Nebraska. Now, I would say that for sure Nebraska and Minnesota are really critical on the ballot round. Iowa is often a battleground state, not just because of swing, but because of ag, because of town and gown. And so there are many games where Iowa is filled up to the 10th pip before I even get to the ballot. But you can't get the ag bonus with just these three, but they can go a long way, and they can be battleground states. So the big thing about New York in town and gown is it provides the ultimate protection. If you can find a candidate like a Bernie Sanders 2020 who has a 40% town and gown, even like a Barack Obama whose 5 main bonuses all affiliate themselves with the state of New York, then that town and gown bonus can be super critical when facing pressure in New York. You don't have to use your African American or high tech. But the biggest thing about town and gown, in my opinion, is the ballot boost that it provides. Let's say that you get town and gown on turn 3 and the game stretches all the way out to turn 15, and you are maybe saving a little bit of town and gown and making it hard for your opponent to know exactly how much cash you have. By the end of the game, you're going to have so much town and gown funds that are saved up that you can invest those across a lot of those states. And unless your opponent tried to force a ballot on you, then those are the states that are going to be open, and that's going to give you a significant electoral college vote advantage. Now, obviously, if you're facing pressure in New York, or if you are facing significant pressure elsewhere, you have to use those funds. But one helpful tip is that I would not end Minnesota and Missouri on the same pip. People have a tendency to do that, and that's just one way that, those are 10 electoral votes each, and so you don't want to lose both of them. Maybe you hedge and you go all in one, leave the other one open. Maybe you go to like the 5th pip in one, like the 6th pip in the other, but try not to be too predictable. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you like it or you want to subscribe to the channel, it will greatly help me out. And until next time, I will catch you guys in the next 270 video.